Hi everybody and welcome to my movie review for the film Paterson starring Adam Driver. Maybe you've not heard of this film, but it was a big ticket item at film festivals like Cannes and Toronto International Film Festival. And basically is about the everyday life of a bus driver. And that is just as ordinary as it sounds, and that there's really nothing more to it. You know, he goes through his everyday life, spends time with his wife, goes out for the bar, or walks his dog, or just any everyday item, even eating cereal. There are just shots of him eating cereal, waking up. And but one thing that's really interesting about his character is that he likes to write poetry. And basically, the main theme throughout this film is poetry. And one of the ways that the director is able to excellently convey this theme is through the city that Paterson lives in. And he lives in Paterson, New Jersey, interestingly enough. And the way in which that city is constructed for the viewer to feel is really excellent. Partly due to the excellent cinematography in this film, where Adam Driver is driving the bus and you see the city from the two side windows, and it's a really interesting image that really haunts your brain even after you've watched the film. Is how Adam Driver is basically in this vessel going through his surroundings. And I really enjoyed the fact that the director put in so much effort into understanding the aesthetic of the city before even getting down to the characters. And the characters themselves are really great, especially Adam Driver's Paterson. His interplay with the rest of the city is so well tuned because, just like the city, he's very inviting and welcoming, but also very ordinary and everyday. And basically, I think another part of this film is just the poetry of the everyday, kind of the beauty of the everyday. And the film is able to so excellently capture that, partly due to Adam Driver's excellent performance. He's so sullen and reserved and kind of removed from the rest of his surroundings, but not removed to the point of alienation. He's not alienated from the rest of the world. He's still a part of the world. He's just an observer, and it's kind of an ode to observation as well. Just observation of the beauty in the everyday things is the best way that I know I can put it. And there's just so many scenes where Adam Driver will just look at something normal and then make beautiful poetry out of it. And it's really an ode to people who not necessarily are just active artists. There's a lot of scenes in this film where people are talking about anarchists. And this one scene where Adam Driver is looking through a bookshelf and seeing all these amazing people who created so much change in the world. But he's more about the type of person who wants to understand the world and try to observe its differences and observe its connectivities and just all these different things, and try to make sense of the beauty that is within the small things in our world. And Jim Jarmusch, the director of this film, kind of invites us to not only explore Paterson's world, but also see Paterson from our view as well, from a little bit removed from Paterson's world as well. And it's partly due to the fact that we get to see, we get to be quiet observers of a quiet observer quietly observing. We're kind of both in the mind of Paterson and trying to understand what he finds of his world, but we're also, as the audience, watching how he makes meaning out of his surroundings, and then therefore also becoming introspective ourselves. And so I really found that to be a little bit of a meta part of the film, but a very beautiful part of the film nonetheless. And this film is very powerful in that regard, in that it works on two very different levels, where you're also part of Paterson's world, but you're also an audience member watching how he deals with the world around him. And when I say deals with the world around him, nothing major really happens in this movie, to be honest. He just sees normal things, hears normal people, and he tries to find beauty in those things. And you will see that there is beauty to be found in those things, and partly due to the Jim Jarmusch's excellent direction, where he instills moments of actual beauty in the film, where you kind of understand where Adam's character is coming from. And you'll eventually make the connection in your own mind that what you've seen and you called as being considered a moment of beauty is actually very similar to things that happen around us all the time. And Jim Jarmusch, as a director, has just taken some beautiful things that happen to us ordinarily and instilled them into this film, and then put this quiet observer to, ruminate on these ideas, and then therefore you're ruminating on those ideas too. And again, I can't give enough credit to Adam Driver as a performer. He's so sullen and, again, as I say, removed but not alienated from the world, and he's so quiet and reserved, but at the same time very meditative. He's just an excellent performer, and I can't wait to see what he does next. And there are so many sequences in this film, again, when I'm saying moments of beauty that are everyday to us now, that you get to see just him talking to some people or just spending time with his wife, and you will see that there's a human connection, or almost subtle, subliminal, just beauty about it. And the film really tries to explore that and find the poetry in that. And the poems in this film are also, in my opinion, very excellent. And you really get to experience them both through your own eyes and through the character Patterson's eyes. And so I'm going to give Patterson an A for being a really excellent, meditative, introspective, and almost relaxing film to watch. It's all definitely a little bit of an unorthodox story structure, but I think it's a very interesting film as you begin to see how Patterson tries to find, or finds often successfully, just the beauty in the everyday, and that kind of connects to our own world, how we find the beauty in the everyday. And so I would highly recommend checking out this film, guys. I saw it on Amazon Prime. If you have an Amazon Prime account, be sure to check it out. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you like this, and leave your comments down below what you thought about Patterson. That's all, guys.